I'm here today to bring Paul Griffin here. He is my personal favourite author. I have loved his books from the very, very, very first word. So I'm going to tell you about the 3 books he's written. 10 Mile River is a story about 2 boys who are living on the lam, living in an old station house, disused station house, with a bunch of old scabby dogs who are stray and nobody wants. So they kind of all, fit together well. These 2 kids have run away from juvenile detention and foster care. They're living on the lam. They're trying to avoid the cops. They're in trouble with the law because, they have to be to feed themselves and just get by. But this story is also really, really funny. Just a great connection between the 2 guys. I think when you hear them speak, you'll know them. They're your brothers, they're your friends. So, cool, cool book. The Orange Houses is a place in the Bronx. It's basically the projects. And so this book is about 3 different people who are living kind of on the fringe of society and just trying to get by. They develop an unlikely friendship, and it's based in tolerance and the lack thereof in their community. Paul's 3rd book, Stay With Me, I think is awesome. This is brand new. These first 2 books are out in paperback already, and this one is just out in hardback, hot off the presses. So it is about 2 kids, Mac, who his mother took off when he was age 7. He's living with his alcoholic father in a pretty horrible situation, and one of the only things that gives him joy in life is training dogs, pit bulls specifically. He rescues them from fights and stuff. So he's working in a kitchen, and a guy he's working with says, "You should meet my sister," and he hooks them up. So Chi-Chi, Anthony's sister, is this gorgeous, curvy girl, straight A student, smart as a whip, but she has real low self-esteem. And the 2 connect in a really good way. They're just so right for each other, and they're so good for each other. Mac has anger management issues, and he's like just trying to, keep a grip on his temper, and it's not always good. But when Chi-Chi's there, she can calm him. She can make it all okay. But something terrible happens, and Chi-Chi isn't there to save the day, and Mac makes a horrible, horrible mistake. I'm going to hand it over to Paul now. I hope you guys read these books. Again, they're available in your public library. If they're not in your school library, just be sure to read them, okay?
Can you clap for my friend Sheila? Are you all 8th grade?
Yes.
8th grade, okay, cool. Anybody like pit bulls?
Yeah, good.
Yeah? Okay.
Yes.
This guy found a pit bull, left for dead, okay? He took it in to his house. He made it well. Fed it, got it strong again, trained it to be really peaceable, really peaceful dog, okay? He got this dog in such beautiful shape, and he's going to give it to his girlfriend as a present. But he comes home from work one night. He's 15, he works at a restaurant, he's a busboy. He finds out that the dog is dead. Not only is the dog dead, it was poisoned. His neighbor poisoned the dog. The neighbor hates dogs. So he's mad. Mac is mad. He's 15, okay? So that's the setup. I don't understand killing. How can it be that killing is natural? That it has to happen? And it does have to happen. It really does now. This time, the noise in my head, it's like this static. It doesn't really pounce on me, but that doesn't mean that it isn't strong. It's like the strongest it's ever been. It's just kind of taken time to build itself pure. It kind of creeps in like this growing itch to the back of my eyes until the fingernails are digging in hard, and I'm sure my eyes are going to leak their jelly. I don't know how long this is going on. I'm just like holding my dog in my lap, and she's gone. It's like the inside of my head is lighting up, and the fever is taking me from sad to mad. You know what? I'm not even mad anymore. I'm going into madness. Sure enough. I cannot hear anymore. Just this static, like this tornado with ambitions. Mad that it wasn't born a hurricane. Outside the window, the sheets, they're kind of blowing horizontal, and this dark gray one kind of takes leave of the dry line, jumps out like the reaper, starved for a fresh soul. The dog body just kind of like slides out of my lap. After a second, the dog's body gets real still. But her legs are all wrong. Her head's like it would never be in life. Like it's twisted so strange, like she's looking back over her shoulder too far, too hard. Her eyes. I think I know the last thing that was in her eyes. It's the one thing that's stronger than love, apparently. Rage. Rage swells like a heat blister in my throat, in my heart, behind my eyes. They're just clawed clean now. I don't know if I'm being pushed out of that hutch or if I'm being dragged, but I am staggering across the roof now. Down the fire stairs to my neighbor Larry's door. I see my fist pounding on it like I'm possessed, except I don't have the will to stop the demon. This isn't me now. Larry, he's cursing at me from the other side of the door. He's fading in and out of that hissing noise in my head, but I can just make out that he's saying, I warned you. I warned you about that filthy dog. Stinking up my sheets, jumping around and barking up there. I warned you, you dirtbag. He says it over and over, and he's laughing at me. Larry, he's that darkness that's between the stars, between the galaxies. There's just nothing out there. He cannot be a man. We cannot be the same. But we are. Oh, how we are. I hammer Larry's door with a high kick once, 2 times, and I'm in there. I'm in his apartment. Larry reaches for his baseball bat. His mouth is as wide as his eyes. I got me some Sprite cans in a bag by my side. I twist that bag real tight so the cans don't fall out. And I spin those bags and I walk fast at Larry and I swing that 6-pack of soda cans at his face. He's bleeding bad. He's spitting broke teeth. He's still holding that bat, but he's kind of limp. It's kind of at his side. I slap the bat from his hand and I hit him again with the cans. I bust his nose open this time. He's on his knees now, Larry. He's looking up at me. I can't hear anything except that hissing noise, but I can read his lips. Do you know what he says to me? I'm sorry. He sure is, boy, I tell you what. I peel off into my mind's darker streets and I lose myself. I keep hitting him and hitting him and hitting him until the cans explode. There's like pink froth everywhere. Must be a while later, my teeth are clicking in the heat. Scratching at a bed bug bite on my neck. One of Larry's cats is staring at me from the kitchen counter. It's like flicking her tail. The other cat is licking at the dirty dishes. Out the window, the clouds, they look like burnt rags. Sound comes back on. Hissing fades away, and I hear a cop. He says to me, son, I hear the echo of kids laughing, playing chase down the courtyard. There's blood all over the floor. There's like a trail of blood from when Larry tried to drag himself out to escape. He made it about halfway before I got him. Yes, sir, I say to that cop. Put down the bat, son, he says. I see the bat in my hand. It's slick. I start to remember it. Chopping at Larry after he was gone. Son, do you hear me? The cop says. I hear church bells. But I say, yes, sir, to that nice cop who 3 times called me son. It occurs to me, if my girl Chi-Chi was with me, she could have stopped me. Just one little touch from her and she could have stopped me. That would have been enough. I was a man and I was hers, but now I'm nothing. My hand goes weak and I drop the bat and watch it roll crooked over the floor. With the blood on my hand, I touch my forehead, my heart, my right shoulder, my left, and the sign of the cross, and then I fold my hands and I pray that my girl Chi-Chi will forgive me. Except, you know what? Maybe it's better that she don't.